All right, what's going on, everybody? Here we are, January 2nd, and I wanted to come on and make this video and talk about because this time of year is very, very a big deal where a lot of people are making New Year's resolutions and they are talking about new goals they want to set, me included. I don't take myself out of that equation, but there's a reason why many people don't actually attain or reach the goal of getting to their resolutions. And I wanted to talk about that. I've got a couple things to talk about as we start the new year here, because this is kind of a time of refreshing, so to speak. It's kind of a time where a lot of new things happen. And, we have a lot of people that, like to kind of make fun of the fact that that's what happens this time of year. But hey, it's a good time to start. Why not do it? Okay. What's up, Kim? And listen, if you guys come on, do me a favor, comment and let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to see that. So let's talk a little bit about it. When it comes to your, New Year's resolutions or your goals or the things that you want to achieve this coming year in 2023. It's very important to realize one of my favorite Bible verses is it says that, faith without works is dead. And I really believe that to be very much true. And a lot of, and I kind of take that and I apply it to my business and I say, goals without action is dead. And so the same thing applies to that. So goals without action is dead. And, having the intention and setting a goal is fantastic. It really is. And I know that this is that time of year where a lot of people are thinking about that. But the times where you're going to achieve your goals the most it's not, in January. Okay. And I want to say that it's not in January where you're going to achieve your goals. It's in February, April, July, September, when you lose all the inspiration that you have at this time. So, just setting goals, a lot of times we set goals and we'll get really excited about the goal. And then we start to get into action mode and, we kind of lose the inspiration or we lose the motivation, and lack of motivation is definitely one of those things. And so I think the most important thing for you to do is that when you're setting goals, understanding that a lack of motivation is what keeps a lot of people from, trying to achieve those goals. But you got to ask yourself, why is it that you lack the motivation? Maybe it's because you haven't really gotten passionate enough about the result that you want. Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to build your business? Do something in your business that's totally radically different. I will tell you, last year was the absolute longest time that I've ever stuck with a way of eating. And it's been incredible. I feel like we've definitely gotten, my wife and I, that was one thing, we'd get on these kind of roller coaster diets type thing. And last year was really good for us in the terms of that got really passionate about working on our health. And that's what we've been doing. And I got to say, for me, like, I'm really proud of myself for doing that. Believe me, I still got a long way to go. I definitely have not lost all the weight that I want to lose. But I'll tell you, the way we've been eating has been completely different as opposed to years prior where we didn't stick with things. So, but part of the reason, and I go back and I look in my own mind and I ask myself my own motivations and I ask myself, like, why was it in 2022 that we ended up sticking with this as long as we did? And it was because we had the motivation. And the motivation was we wanted to be healthy. We wanted to work on, we want to be here long term. I'm 49. My wife's, around the same age. I'm not going to say my wife, my wife's, age. Yeah, but the point is that we want to be around. We want to be grandparents. We want to be around a long time. I want to live a high quality of life into my 80s and 90s. So that's my motivation. The older I get, the more cognizant I become of that. So there's a real deep reason for doing the things that we need to do. So, whatever your goal is, whatever it is you want to achieve in your life, whatever it is you want to get done in 2023, you got to find the internal motivation because, it's got to be something almost deeper. It's got to be deeper than inspiration, and it's got to be deeper than just like, being really riled up. Like, it's really truly got to motivate you and want to get you out of bed every morning. So, like last year, man, my wife and I spent mounds and mounds of time just studying and understanding what to eat, how to eat, what's good for us, what's not, really understanding the differences between, different types of food and the certain things that can contribute to our health. And that's just one area of our life. And we got a long way to go. But I'll tell you, we spent a lot of time educating ourselves. And that was something that I think really helped us because the more that we educated ourselves, the more inspired we got. So it was a little action here and a little action there that really started to kind of move the needle for us in that particular area. So you got to find the motivation for why you're going to do something, and you have to find the motivation that's going to kick you into gear in March or April when, you make the goal now and the inspiration for putting them together is worn off. I heard a quote a long time ago that said, commitment is doing the thing you said you would do long after the feeling you set it in has left you. That's commitment. So, I think it's probably one of the best quotes I've ever heard in regards to that because it's so crucially important. So find that motivation. And for me, this is one that probably some people may not agree with me on. And that's okay. But I am not a huge fan of setting unrealistic goals. Some people say, set a goal so big, set it huge. And I guess you can set a very big goal. Like if you got a goal, it's like here, it's a 5-year goal. And you're like, I'm shooting for that right there. But yet getting to that goal right there, that huge one that you've got, there are a whole bunch of little goals within that thing, getting to that point that you've got to set as well. Like it's about charting your path, creating a clear plan to actually get there. So that's important as well. Like you definitely cannot just set a huge goal, but then have no plan to get there. So I guess maybe it's wrong for me to say an unrealistic goal. If you have a big plan or a big, huge, bodacious goal, then you've got to figure out how to set the steps to get to it, because that's not going to happen if you don't do that. I'll give you a great example. So many of you guys know that here next month, we're launching what I believe is going to be the most phenomenal video marketing course out there. I mean, I just, from a standpoint of helping a lot of people, the No Fear Video Marketing System 2.0, I've been working on it. This course is going to have over probably 125 videos in it. I mean, it is intense. It is very detailed, but very systematic in how it's put together. And I have been working on it the last several weeks, getting all together. I am about 65% of the way through it. But when I look at the outline of the thing, I took weeks to put this outline together for this course. Weeks thinking it all through, mapping it out. What do I want to talk about here? What am I going to do here? What am I going to do there? And just every single step going through and setting the goal of how to do it. And when I got done, I looked at the massive monstrosity of an outline that I put together for this course. And I'm like, holy moly, like this is huge. Like, if I want to take somebody from beginner, like stark beginner who doesn't know what they're doing, all the way to where they can be an expert in like a 90-day period where they just know the basics, they know what works, what's going to help them, how to do it, then, there has to be a lot of steps in there, but very clear-cut steps. And so I just put that together. And at the end, I'm like, holy moly, this is a lot of work. So it was very easy for me to look at this massive outline and just like my mind, go crazy. But what I did is exactly what I teach a lot of my students to do. And that's one bite at a time. one video at a time. And so what happens is every module, there's 12 modules in this course, plus a whole bunch of other things that are coming along with it. So I go through and I literally go module by module. So like before I get module 1 done, I'm not even thinking about module 2 yet. Like I'm not even there. I'm just like, hey, there's 10 videos here in this module. I'm going to do each one, and every one I do, I'm just going to put everything I got into that one, done, put it in. Boom. Okay, at number 2, now what do I need to do? Okay, cool. Let's get this done. Boom. Get number 2 done. Boom. And I'm just knocking them off the list, one on one. And instead of looking at the whole big picture where it's totally and completely overwhelming, I have the steps to get to where I want to get because I thought it all through. And the end goal is going to be a completed course, which I believe is going to be phenomenal for people that really, truly want to excel with video. And I'm 65% of the way through it now. And I've just been doing one video at a time, marking it off. Boom, done, boom, done, boom, done, boom, done. And next thing I know, I'm this far in it. So I've still got a lot more to go. I've still got a lot more to do, which is probably going to be done in the next 2 weeks. But I planned it out. It was a huge goal, and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I can see myself completing this and reaching the goal of completing the course. So my point is, for you, if you're going to set goals right now for 2023, create that big bodacious plan if you've got one. Okay, where it is you want to go, what's the big goal, and then you got to map it out. Spend some time, take an hour or two, take a couple days if you need to really map it out. But at some point, you've also got to get into action mode, because action or goals without action are dead. Just like faith without works is dead, according to the Bible. Action or goals without action are dead also. Same principle applies. All right. So the other thing that I wanted to share with you when it comes to part of the reason people don't reach their resolutions or their goals is because of priorities. It really comes down to priorities. And you have to decide what's a priority in your life. Setting goals is great, but if you don't make it a priority to work on those goals every single day, it won't matter. So you got to decide what is the priority in your life. Like, what do you want to do? What are you going to do to make it a priority? And, you have to decide. I mean, I've had some people sometimes and they're like, if I'm doing something and they're like, oh, I can't be there on that night. And I remember this is a couple of years ago. I remember I was doing a workshop and this lady said, oh, I want to be a part of it. And I said, okay, well, it's 6 weeks long and we're doing it on Thursday nights at 9:00. And she's like, oh, well, that's 6:00 my time. She was out west and that's dinner time for us. So that's just not going to work for me. And I was like, it's only 6 weeks. Like, adjust your schedule for 6 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, adjust it. Like, I'm trying to be nice about it, but it's like a lot of people, like, they say they want something, but they're not willing to get a little uncomfortable or rearrange their priorities for a period in order to get it. So I don't necessarily want to do the things that are necessary to get healthy. Like, I'd love to go out and, slap down a pizza or, some things that I'd love to eat, but know that eating that consistently is not going to be good for me. I'd love to do that all the time. But I know that if I want to get healthy, I've got to change the way I eat. You understand? So if you think you're going to reach your goal without changing some things and reprioritizing your life a little bit, that's not going to happen. You've got to decide, like, what are you going to do, things to make a change so that you can reap the rewards later on. So you got to be willing to get a little bit out of the norm in order to to reach that goal. So shifting your priorities is very, very important in order to reach them. And then, the last thing I'll share with you, and if you're getting value from this, please do me a favor. Comment, like, share this. I'd love to, get as many likes on here as we can for at least the amount of people that are on here. So if you can like it, do me a favor. If you think somebody can benefit from what we're talking about here, tag them in the comments. I'd love that. And of course, share it with other people as well. But when it gets right down to it, you have to be ready to want it. There's a lot of people that say they want something. They say they want it, but deep down they don't really. And they're doing what I call mentally assenting. It's where they say they want it, but deep down they're really not ready to do what it takes to get what they say they want. And so you have to ask yourself are you ready to reach the goal that you say you want? Are you ready? If you're not ready, that's fine. That's totally fine. But just don't kid yourself. Like, if you're going to make a goal, don't just do it because it feels cool or, hey, it's something I should do at this time of year. Like, let's really go out and make this a great year. Last year, I honestly had one resolution: simplicity. Like, that was it. And I worked very hard last year to kind of simplify my life in many ways. And it's been great. I have. Like, I'm just, that's all I've been doing is making it simple. For me this year, my goal, if you want to have that, is to increase myself in the wisdom of God. That is like my thing this year. Like, I really want to hone in on God. I really, really want to, I want God as my ultimate CEO in everything that I do in my business and my life. So my whole thing is really trying to hone in on that and really making that happen, because I believe with God's wisdom, I can win at whatever I want to do and whatever God wants me to do. So that's, for me, that's a big one for sure. And, but I've also got some big goals. Again, we're working toward this product. This is a huge goal for me this year. And it's going to be great. The thing is, I'm already thinking about what I'm doing after that. What's going on after that. So while I'm preparing for this big thing, after that, 6 months down the road, I've got some ideas and things that I want to accomplish after that as well. So I'm kind of preparing the ground here for what's going to happen after. So anyway, I hope you guys got some value from this. If you did, do me a favor again, share this with somebody or tag them, and let's do some great things. All right. So hope you enjoyed this. And if we are not connected yet, make sure you head over to my blog at markharbert.com. Make sure you hop on my email list. I send out emails on a regular basis with tips, tricks, strategies, content, all kinds of stuff for you that can help you in your business. Okay. So markharbert.com, head over there. Appreciate you guys. Love you. And I am definitely going to be going live a lot this year compared to past years. It is definitely something that is on my goal list as well. So appreciate you guys. Have an awesome one, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.